relationships are hard, period, but then when you add a positive pregnancy
everybody. Happy day. I hope you all are doing well. So, exciting video. This is my first ever video talking about anything that actually matters in my life instead of just freaking around. So, I hope you enjoy the video. Make sure to subscribe to me, guys, because I'm gonna be posting weekly updates of my pregnancy. But thank you for tuning in, and I will see you soon.
Who are maybe concerned?
I'm pregnant. I don't know if I'm gonna like put this anywhere, but for the record, my name is Sarah. I am 20 years old. My boyfriend's name is Romeo, and he is 19 years old. It's Tuesday, March 17th, 2020, and on Saturday, March 14th, 2020, I found out that I am expecting a baby.
The rumors are true. Oh god, no, but seriously.
Yes.
Throwback, let me put you where I am. It's the morning of my mother's 50th birthday. So, we won't forget about that. It's funny how that sort of stuff happens. Like, how those, like, coincidences happen, you know? Like, of course, I would find out that I'm pregnant on my mom's 50th birthday. Like, on her 50th, too. It wasn't like, it was like, it's just crazy. Yes, it was Saturday morning. And I had been feeling, a little off, so here we are. Let's go back to Thursday night. Friday night, the 13th, and the next morning was my mom's birthday, and I still hadn't gotten her anything. The past week, I had spent, me and Romeo, preparing for our trip to Colorado for my 21st birthday that we had invested a shit ton of money into, and then also getting prepared to get accepted and move into our new apartment, and getting ready to put in a down payment at my college of choice that I want to attend. So it had been a really busy week. So by Friday, I still hadn't got my mom something for her birthday, so we ran up to the local chocolatier and got her some chocolates and like these freeze-dried chocolate-covered strawberries because the strawberries weren't in season. I really hadn't thought much about being pregnant, although I knew that the symptoms that I was having before my period were irregular. So my period symptoms are usually as consistent as period symptoms can be. You know what I mean? Like, every period was pretty much the same. I would experience boob ache for about 3 or 4 days. Then I would start experiencing pretty bad back aches, some fatigue, and then my period would come and I would have pretty severe cramping, sometimes even throwing up. I've always had pretty bad periods. So I was definitely feeling off. My boobs were hurting for about 2 weeks, pretty severely, pretty worse than they've ever hurt before. And I had to like put pillows on each side of me to hold my boobs up so that they weren't so heavy. And that was kind of like an indicator to me that something might be up, but I wasn't really thinking pregnancy very much in my mind at that moment. Like, I would like throw it out there, oh, I might be pregnant, but that was nothing that was atypical for me. I would always be like, oh, maybe I'm pregnant. So it wasn't until the morning of the 14th when I woke up, and the way, I can't even really describe how I felt when I woke up, just off, just not in beat with how I usually was. Obviously, it was the morning of my expected period. I had not started bleeding yet, which usually by the morning time, I would wake up bleeding. Woke Romeo up. I said, come on, let's go to CVS. It was pretty early in the morning from when I usually wake up. I'm asleep till like 10:30. So we go over to CVS 8:30 in the morning, get our pregnancy test, and go home and sit in the bathroom pretty much right away. I sat down, took this pregnancy test. Romeo was in the bathroom with me, The pregnancy test was sitting across the counter, across the bathroom from us. We could still see like the blinking. So once we saw that I had stopped blinking, we both rushed over to the counter and it said this. We were both really speechless. Romeo was speechless. I could tell that he was terrified. He was just like looking at the test like that. Like he was like totally speechless. And I remember the first thing that I said to him, I looked at him and I said, "I told you, dude." I said, "I fucking told you, dude." It was a pretty it was a pretty powerful moment to read that. And I think because we're both so young and so not in a position to be pregnant, well, the first thing I did was I just went downstairs. I just went downstairs and I found my mom and I just like hugged her and just started crying. And she was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And me and Romeo had started arguing. He was mad that I had gone downstairs and started crying to my mom because obviously that was something that it was a little bit of an indicator to her that something was wrong. So obviously she was going to start asking questions. Neither of us were ready to break the news to anybody yet. It was the first day that we had found out. Me and Romeo got in an argument like right off the bat. We were at each other's throats. So me and Romeo got in an argument right away. Saturdays he goes to his brother's to hang out, like Saturdays for the boys. But at this point it was like 9:30 in the morning and he usually wouldn't go until like 12 or 1. And I was just like, "You know what? I'm taking you to your mom's house. Like, let's go to your mom's house. I don't want to be near you. He doesn't want to be near me. We're yelling at each other. Like, he's trying to talk to me about how I feel." And I'm just like, I was feeling so many things that I didn't know how to communicate that to him. And we were just right off the bat at each other's throats. And that was a little disappointing. Not to be unexpected. I don't really remember much about what happened at his mom's house, but I know that I went home, and as soon as I went home, I told my mom, which probably I should have waited until I talked to Romeo. But for me, it felt like I needed to tell someone. Like I needed to. That was what was right for me in that moment with the emotions that I was feeling. Like I just felt like I needed to tell my mother. So I had pretty much told, by the time Romeo came home at 7 o'clock that night, I had pretty much told my entire family. My entire family knew at this point. And that is my regret. Is telling everyone, you know, that comes with a lot of opinions, and you know, everybody has this idea of what you should be doing and how you should be doing it, and you know, real. It's pretty real. So by the time he had came home, my family was already trying to talk to him about it and see where he was standing on that. Romeo does not have a job right now, so that's been pretty stressful for me. It's been hard to not like freak out about that. You know, I'm about to be a mom and I work full-time 40 hours a week. That's a stressor that I have right now. This is the 4th day that I found out. I'm still so new to this and trying to navigate the way that my body is feeling, and crazily thirsty. Not so nauseous, just more dizzy in the morning. I guess you would say nauseous. I have thrown up, and I know it's only been 4 days, but the mornings are okay for me. They're not terribly bad, nothing that I can't handle. Slight cramping at night. I'm having a terrible time sleeping. I'm going to bed late and waking up early and taking naps throughout the day. Now, I've been off work for the last week, but I go back tomorrow for a week straight, so I'm just trying to cope with that. I'm going to be a pregnant, working human incubator. I have my pregnancy confirmation on Thursday, which I'm like nervous for because I Googled, and that's like the #1 thing that you're told to not do is Google shit, because Google's basically gonna tell you that you and your baby are dying, and I'm just like, I just need to talk to a real doctor, not Google, not wellnessformoms.com, you know what I mean? With Planned Parenthood, not with they were able to get me in right away. I called so many doctor's offices that weren't able to get me in for another 6 weeks until my baby already has a heartbeat. And like, I feel like things, like that's too late. I have so many questions. And especially with the coronavirus going on right now. And then I have my first ultrasound on the 16th of next month. So I still another month until I'm able to get an ultrasound, which is scary. I guess it's just an awkward time in the world to find out that you're pregnant, especially when it's your first time and you're so I'm definitely nervous. And there's a lot of things that my partner has to do before the baby comes. And, you know, I'm unhappy in my job. We canceled our trip to Colorado. So, you know, that was going to be our only trip before that we welcome this baby into the world. And then our apartment that we were going to get it. We're supposed to move in this week. We have to contact the landlord by tomorrow and tell them that we are no longer interested in this apartment because we need to be saving money for our baby. So that's a decision that we've had to make. I'm going to be continuing to live at my mom's with my entire family, probably for another 6 months. Yeah, probably for another 6 months until I'm closer to my due date, and then start getting cuddled into a new place. But it's definitely you know, not gonna happen in the timing that we want it to, but that's okay. I am trying to be comfortable with the Earth's timing and not mine, because that's the way things are. Also, school. I was supposed to start school, and it looks like I'm going to be waiting to start school until next April. And then pretty much what we're looking to do now then is a vehicle. So a lot of things have changed in the past 4 days, but I feel like so much has changed. Like even family dynamics have changed so much. I do have an extremely supportive family, and Romeo's family is also supportive. I'm just experiencing some mild early pregnancy symptoms, nothing that I can't deal with. I feel the presence of my baby in my body, and that's pretty amazing. I'm super excited to go to my doctor's appointment and hear my baby's heartbeat in a month. That's gonna be crazy. I'm excited to see how much this process changes me. I want to say a couple more things. Yeah, so just a bunch of dynamics have definitely changed. The dynamic between me and Romeo has changed astronomically. We have been under an unforeseeable amount of stress. Relationships are hard, period, but then when you add a positive pregnancy test into them, added tension and pressure. I'm just lucky that he's here, but he's definitely under a lot of stress being a young dad, and I'm just trying to cope with it the way I can, and he's trying to cope with it the way he can, and we come together. We're going to try to, you know, do that during the day and then come together at night, and hopefully our heads are in the same spaces, but we are trying to give each other a little more distance than we were, when there wasn't a baby inside of me. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I know that I can do this. If you're interested in following my story, I am going to be giving weekly updates. Hopefully I'll get a little bit more comfortable sharing my feelings in front of the camera. Hopefully, like, as these weeks progress, I will get more comfortable talking to you guys in front of the camera. I hope if anybody is watching this to leave a comment if you relate to anything I'm saying.
I really don't know what to say, but thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.